Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back with another video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of Bane. This is the B.A.F figure, or the Build-A-Figure for the Dark Knight Trilogy B.A.F. This is the final piece, so when you collect all 4 figures, aka Joker, Scarecrow, Two-Face, and of course Batman, you build, of course, Bane. So I'll be showing you the figure itself in terms of the articulation, sculpture, and paint, and of course, if it's worth your purchase. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So, let's take a look at Bane here. Unfortunately, this does not come with a card, because what you see is what you get. So with the B.A.F figures, you don't get a card. And you don't get a stand, but in this situation, you kind of do it away, because with the Joker, when you get that, it does come with this stand here. You can see that right here for Joker. And it does come with another puck, which makes sense now why I included 2 of them, so you can use a stand for Bane. And this is the first time that I've seen it, I can remember. The actual Build-A-Figure, that makes sense, comes with accessories. So this is Bane's left open hand, kind of like a trigger, like almost pointing the gun type of thing. This is Bane's right hand, same thing, but just his right hand. This is Bane's left fist. And Bane's right, like, claw type hand. Right, pretty cool. I like the art. I like the detail on here. The paint, it looks pretty cool. But I am putting 2 hands on here on Bane, so there you go. Now let's take a look at Bane itself. And I'm mixed on this figure, and I'll discuss it in a bit. But let's take a look at that head sculpture. I think the head sculpture looks good. Very defined detail on the mask. I like that. I like how you got a little bit of like that grayish kind of glossy look to it. It's not really a lot. I wish it was a bit more. That would make it pop more, but nonetheless, so it looks good. I like how it's very detailed as well, too. I like the painted eyes, the eyebrows, and of course, little markings on here, too, on his head. And yet, it looks very, very good, man. Very similar to the movie. You got more sculptured detail right here in the back, and you got more in the back here, on the side, in the back down here. Head articulation, left and right, it's there. It's just very, very stiff. And that's one thing about this figure. You do have to warm it up a lot, because this figure is ridiculously stiff. And I'll talk more about that in a bit. But overall, though, I gotta say, though, the head articulation, it's good. It's limited, but probably because it's a really stiff figure. The sculpture design is good. It looks clean. I like that sculpture design. And the paint looks good as well. It paint's kind of clean looking, plain on here on the side. Just, he's bald, so it is what it is. I wish it had maybe had like a hairline. That way it can make it pop more. But nonetheless, though, it is what it is. Shoulder articulation, it's good. Bicep, good. Elbows, good. Wrist, good. Torso, good. So in terms of the articulation on the upper body, it's good. And in terms of the detail, this just looks really, really good, but also very plain. So in terms of his left arm, it's just very muscular. Not much to it. It looks clean. It's just one solid arm piece with just color. It's okay. There's nothing crazy about it on this hand. But on the other hand, you got the same kind of look, but you do have a glove on there too, which looks really, really cool. I like the color of it and the sculpture of it, which I really, really like. Looks clean looking, but of course, it's going to be the upper torso. You got that jacket on here. I don't know if you want to call it a jacket. It's more of a vest. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Military type of vest. But it's very defined, very, very detailed on here too. You got the dark brown, you got the light brown, and you got some kind of light, kind of marks to it, a little brown on there, make it pop on there too. You got the buckle on here too. I wish the buckle were painted maybe like silver. Maybe I can customize that to make it look really, really pop. But you got a lot of detail on this vest. Just look at that. Look at all of that detail. Looks really, really, really good. I really dig it. It just looks good. And again, if this had like painted silver on here, on buttons, I think it would really, really pop. But, I mean, you gotta keep in mind though, the McFarlane figures aren't really that expensive, but you do get a lot of figure though. So look at that. I think it looks really, really cool, man. So overall, what I think of the upper body, I think it looks good, man. It looks clean, very similar to the character in the movie. And I dig it, man. It's a lot of design here, a lot of sculpture, and it looks very good. But more important, there's a lot of stuff you can customize. I know a lot of customizers out there on there too. The left arm is unfortunate. It's very plain, but it is what it is, right? Leg articulation, it's really stiff, but it's good. Knees, you can probably hear it, but good. Wow, it's just really stiff. Ankles, good. Just very, very, wow, very good. And of course, toes, good. So let's take a look at the lower body. I like the sculpture body on the lower body, excuse me, the legs. You got that pocket on here too. I like how this pocket is slightly different than this. Again, very subtle, but it looks good. Then you have a zipper on here too, underneath. Nothing on here. I said it before, I said it again. Little details like this make the figure stand out really, really good. The knee pads on here too look good, look clean. It gives it extra style, and you get more bags on there, not bags, pockets on the back on there too, which looks very, very good, man. I really dig it. It looks like just cargo pants. And of course, you got that boots. I like the look of the boots. I'm a bit confused on the boots because it looks like it's going to be gloss, but then some of it's matte, so it's kind of like, is it gloss or matte? I don't know. And then over here, it's not a whole lot. My camera makes it look like it's a lot, but I don't know. Maybe it's mixed or something. I don't know. But overall, though, the lower body looks good, man. Looks clean. Very similar to the character in the movie. And I dig it, man. I really, really dig it. Now, before I give my opinion on it, there are some drawbacks to the figure. Not really drawbacks, but something you have to be wary. I said it in the Batman and Joker video, but for this joint right here, you have to take it out and put it and flip it over and put it back in. That's unfortunate. I'm hoping it was just my figure, but I've seen people online post it, so it is what it is. But all you have to do, I wish I made a video of it, but just put the arm in the warm water, especially the wrist, put it in warm hot water for maybe about 10, maybe 20 seconds. Then all you do is just pop this joint right here out, flip it, put it back in, and you're good to go. Because if you don't, it's not going to fit. So that's one thing. Another drawback to this figure is it's very, very stiff. Maybe it's just my figure, but a buddy of mine also collects it. He was able to get this wave. He also had the same thing where the joints are really stiff. And for me, the ankle joints were ridiculously stiff. I had to leave this in hot water for a good minute just for me to kind of do this. Like, it's really, really stiff, which I kind of like it because that means it doesn't have to, and have to put anything else to it in terms of making it stiff, but it's a really stiff figure. Again, maybe it's just a batch that me and my friend got, but for me, this is a really stiff figure, so keep that in mind. You might have to use warm water. I've seen people reporting that the leg won't stick in. Again, just use hot water just to kind of warm it up a little bit. Hopefully that helps. But for me, the big thing for me was going to be that joint, the wrist, and the ankles, which is really, really stiff. But there you go. I was able to do it. But overall, though, what do I think about this figure? Regardless of the joint issues and the stiffness of the figure, what do I think about it? Overall, I think it's a cool-looking figure, man. I like the figure. I think it looks good. I'm glad they made a Bane one, because why not? I mean, we need a Bane one if you're going to do a Dark Knight. And so, to me, I like it. I think this is a thumbs up for me on this figure. It has good details, very good sculpture, very similar to the character in the movie, but there are some drawbacks to it. But regardless of that, though, I think it's a really good-looking figure. And figure by itself, what do I give it? Thumbs up for me. Is it one of the things you have to rush out and get if this figure sold alone? I don't think so, in my honest opinion. If this figure sold alone by itself, I don't think this is a figure we have to go out, rush, and get it, in my honest opinion. It's not like the Joker, because that one is hard to find now. But, don't worry, they're going to make more. But overall, I like the figure. And of course, the main question is it worth getting all of these figures just for this one? I want to say no. I know, well, let me break it down. Is this figure worth it getting all of them? I want to say no. I don't think this figure by alone stands out so well to a point where, like, you have to get these. If that makes any sense. For me, I got them because I wanted the full set. But more importantly, I wanted it because of the Joker. So, that's just my opinion on it. But regardless of, I think it's a cool looking figure and I dig it. And like I said, thumbs up for me on this figure. Just be wary of the joints. That's all. Here we have Bane from the Dark Knight Trilogy Wave and Bane the B.A.F. I mean, you can just definitely tell a size and massive figure. And just all the muscle tone and everything on this Bane figure. Fantastic figure. Man, I believe it's hard to get now, which I'm surprised. Because when I pre-ordered this Bane one from McFarlane store, they were like, I waited several hours and it was still available, which now it's hard to find. So maybe McFarlane may make more. Hopefully he does, but nonetheless, so there you go. You have Bane from the Dark Knight Trilogy and Bane the Mega Fig. Here we have Bane and, of course, Scarecrow from the Dark Knight Trilogy Wave. They both look good. I think it does blend in very well in terms of the live-action movie figures by McFarlane. I think they both look good. Scarecrow is weird, as I mentioned in the video. But overall, I dig it. I like both of these figures nonetheless. Here we have Two-Face. Fantastic figure, man. I'm so glad McFarlane made a Two-Face figure, but we need more. But there you go, just for size comparison and appearance. Of course, Bane is a bit taller, and of course, a lot more masculine. More muscle tone, I should say, not masculine. Muscle tone on Bane compared to Two-Face. Here we have the Joker from the same wave. Fantastic Joker. I really like this that figure. And of course, Bane. They both look really good together. And having them displayed together, I think it's going to look fantastic. I got to put a gun on Joker to make it look really cool. But there you go, man. The Joker looks fantastic in my opinion. And we have Bane on there too. Really, really cool. Here we have Batman. Of course, he had to be on here. And of course, Bane. They both look fantastic together, side by side. Man, Christian Bale. And there's rumors. Don't get me wrong. There's rumors. You didn't hear from me, but there's rumors that Christian Bale may be in the Flash movie. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But that's what the rumors are saying. But nonetheless, so there you go. Christian Bale, Batman, and Bane, the Tom Hardy, finally made into a figure. Now here's Bane with Deathstroke from the Rebirth era, and just showing you how it will look like when you would display like a villain from Batman with another villain from Batman, but more of a comic book. Just kind of see if it blends in very well. Because I know sometimes blending in comic book accurate figures with live action sometimes it doesn't work. And I think in this situation, I don't think it would work. It would look kind of a little odd. But there you go, for comparison's sake. Here we have another comic book accurate figure. This is Hush. And we have the Bane one. Similar to the Deathstroke. It doesn't kind of blend in very well with the comic book characters, with live action figures. But, I mean, they both look cool, don't get me wrong. But just kind of doesn't blend in very well. But that's just my opinion, though. But to each their own. And last but not least, we had to do this comparison. All of them, all side by side to each other. We have a Scarecrow. We have Batman or Christian Bale. Tom Hardy, Bane, Heath Ledger, Joker, and of course Two-Face. This whole wave looks fantastic when you see it all side by side. And again, for the price that you paid for $100, of course, is it worth the price? In my honest opinion, for $100, heck yeah, I think it's a thumbs up for me on this wave. They all look fantastic. To me, the biggest highlight in terms of all these is going to be that Batman, the detail, the articulation, the sculpture, and that belt looks good. Of course, Joker's going to be second. Third is going to be Two-Face for me. Scarecrow fourth, and unfortunately Bane is going to be my last one. As I already mentioned my issues with Bane. Not a lot, but yeah. But overall though, regardless of that, the wave looks fantastic when you look at it side by side. And like I said, this is easily a thumbs up for me. Definitely go out and get it. And don't worry, this is a common wave, meaning you'll be able to get it via Target, Amazon, GameStop, Walmart, McFarlane online store, and many others. So don't get ripped off and don't pay scalper price because this is a common wave. Just be patient, you probably will get one. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with this figure? Do you plan on purchasing this figure? Or did you already purchase this figure? Leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to our support channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So in closing, an overview of Bane from the Dark Knight Trilogy Build-A-Figure wave, and on to the next one.